preparing financial statements. It is not a permanent accounting record, may be computerized worksheet prepared using a 5-step process, and use of worksheet is optional. Anong mingon matag optional? Because it's not part really of the accounting cycle, but rather it somehow it is optional because you can pwede ra ka mo diretso ra sa imong kuan from the journal, then ledger, yung trial balance, and then you can prepare immediately your financial statements. But somehow, with the preparation of the worksheet, it will somehow facilitate the grouping, the identification, and after which, after preparing the worksheet, nato tayo idea pila income, unsang account unsang account ang may belong sa income statement, unsang account ang belong sa balance sheet. Because after we prepare the worksheet, we will prepare already the different financial statements. So basically, this is the we have here, pwede nato ni siyang, normally we prepare this one before, gigamit nato ana niya, columnar, so naapay maabot na siya tag 12 columns, 16 columns, depende na siya sa paano we have 16 columns. But for the typical worksheet, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a worksheet that we prepare using a 10-column worksheet, and there's also a worksheet that we prepare using the 12-column. So option na siya. So basically, this is the format we have here. You have here 5 steps. Di ba kato prior na to, we have 5 steps na giingon. 5 steps to do. We have step 1, prepare the trial balance. We are done already with the trial balance. What we have here is the unadjusted na trial balance, just like the attorney that we prepare prior to the adjustments. And then, step 2, we enter here the adjusting entries that we journalize. So instead na what will happen here is after the trial balance is prepared, available na siya, then adjusting entries will be available sa na siya. Then instead na i-journalize nato siya, what we will do is diretso na nato siya diri isulod sa worksheet. This is to facilitate process generation of the financial statement. Okay, just imagine katong the usual nato from the journal, i-post pa nato sa ledger, and then ay makahimog trial balance, no? Adjusted na trial balance. In this case here, for as long as we have already the trial balance, that's after the close, then whatever adjustments, dili na nato siya isulod, diretso na. And then, makakompute na dayon kag adjusted the trial balance. Instead, na imo pa ni siya i-post sa ledger, diretso na ka makahimo direct adjusted the trial balance by just doing the debit and credit. And then after the computation of the trial balance, pwede na ta makahimo na dayon tao extend na lang ang atong adjusted trial balance, extend to sa siya nga account, will it be under income statement or will it be under the balance sheet? So mo na siya nga mas dali ang atong process. Although this is optional, but for practitioners, we prefer to use the worksheet rather than doing the journal, they're posting to the ledger. But ultimately, at the end of the process, we will do a gihapon good katong i-journalize and ledger. But it will come after the preparation of the balance sheet and the income statement and then come after the preparation of the formal report. Kaya kuha na nimo siya no, to facilitate the generation of the financial statement. Money siya ang iyang purpose. Okay, so step 1 here, prepare the trial balance of the worksheet. Step 2, enter adjustment data. Debit credit, kagihapon to sound debit credit. Step 3, enter adjusted balances. Then step 4, extend adjusted balances to appropriate statement columns. Then total the statement columns, compute net income, and compute the worksheet. So that's what we are going to do. Remove pa ang kuan, remove ang, what's that? Ang PowerPoint. Na ako sa page 5. Hello? Remove siya? Page 5. Okay, good. Ipangod na ako makita diri i-full ko anak ko ba kung ako siyang i-sad kanang i-slideshow dili na ako makita na nako din is big paper. Okay, so what we have here, like for example, so this is our step 1. So this is Pioneer advertising worksheet for the month ended October 31, 2020. So again, this is the name of the company, the name of the report, and then for the month ended, it will always be ang title na po anino for the month ended, for the 2 months ended, or for the year ended. Kung ang iyang reporting is fiscal year, so pwede na siya make up for the year ended October 31. But normally, we prepare the financial statements monthly. So what will happen is on the first 2 columns we have here the trial balance, the adjustments, adjusted trial balance, and then income statement and the balance sheet. So what we will do is put in regitin hino kung sa itong nasa atong trial balance ato regit na siyang i-transfer yun. Again, no peso sign. So i-transfer kita to the cash, supplies. So what we have sa atong Pioneer na kung ano, unadjusted the trial balance, and then total. And the next na to nga activity is so these are the adjustments. Pioneer debits an additional account of supply 1,005 for the cost of supplies. Ato naman yung kung ano, sample ng activity. So, these are the adjustments na gihimo niya. So, letter A, is siya Pioneer, debits additional account, supplies expense, the 1,500 for the cost of supplies, used and credit supplies, 1,005. Again, na-discuss na nato ni sa last na PowerPoint. And Pioneer debits an additional account, insurance expense 50, then credit prepaid insurance 50. Then the company needs 2 additional depreciation accounts. It debits depreciation expense 40 for the month depreciation and credit accumulated depreciation equipment. Then Pioneer debits unearned 400 for services performed and credit service revenue. Pioneer debits accounts receivable 200 and service revenue 200. The company needs 2 additional accounts relating to interest. It debits interest expense for accrued interest and credit interest payable 50. Then salaries and wages 1,200 and wages payable 1,200. So here what we will do is after nato i-post ang ato trial balance, so we have our debit, credit, so totals na siya, no? Kailangan din na siya exactly how it was presented sa atong trial balance, same rin gihapon na siya din ha. And then ato na siyang ato na ni siyang total. And next is what we will do is we put in our adjustments. You will notice na kay letter A, letter B, C, D, E, F, G. So these letters corresponds sa katong atong ipanghimuang adjustment. Kani siya, no? This one, mo letter A, B, C, D. So kailangan nato, when we post rin nato sa atong adjustments, we need the letters para makabalong tao sa iyang partner. Like for example, ang letter A nga adjustment is with debit supplies expense. So what will happen is, like for example here, with debit supplies expense, then we credit supplies. Pangitaon na to din naabay supplies expense na account. In the case here, wala man siya supplies expense na account, so we will create we will create supplies expense additional na to nga line. So punta na nato letter A 1,005, the credit nato is supplies na account 1,500. And the letter B, sabi niya kuan, insurance expired, so we debit insurance expense. So we look for insurance expense here. Sa katong sa kaya balance nato nga adjusted wala no, so ani niya is we will compute na dayon our why not adjusted trial balance na dayon, and then what we will do is debit plus kung debit accounts kung asset accounts debit plus debit minus credit, so that will give you your balance. So dali na kaayo compare sa katong maghimo tag account, maghimo ta sa ledger. Dali na siya dinhi kay gamay naman lang kay kini atong pag-come up nato sa 15,200. This is after we prepare the ledger. And then if there are adjustments later, remember at month end naman is siya. So dali na nato siya ma-compute. All you have to do is debit plus debit minus credit, so that will give you your adjusted trial balance. Like case here, cash 15,002, kaya wala man siya adjustment. Ang supplies 2,500, niya debit money, niya there's a credit 1,500, so ang nabili na lang 1,000. Prepaid insurance debit, but there's a credit na 50, so 550 ang iyang balance. Then equipment is it will remain as is, then notes payable, accounts payable, wala man siya entry. And then unearned from 1,200, there was an adjustment of course, so mga ang nabiling na lang niya is 800. And then owner's capital, 10,000, walay changes. Owner's drawing, walay change. In service revenue, nahimo na siyang 10,600. Kaya siya unadjusted niya is 10 plus the adjustment of T&E, so 2,006. Salaries and wages 4 plus 1,252, and then rent expense 900, 900. And then ang mga gihapon, extend na nato siya so that ato na gihapon check equality of adjusted trial balance. So dapat na siya tie up gihapon. So from there, we can now determine how much is our income and how much is our, what are the accounts that will be extended under income statement and under balance sheet. So like here, so we have here income statement. Unsa man tong atong mga accounts na under income statements. So, go back ta sa atong mga basic elements that will be grouped under income statement. So, these are your revenues and expenses. So, here, you have, ang pinaka-kuan din anin niya is one by one ato hindi siyang i-go through. Aron di tayo malintan. What will happen lang is, like for example, cash. Somebody, income ba siya or balance sheet? Cash is an asset, so it should be under balance sheet. Then supplies is an asset, it's a balance sheet. Prepaid insurance is an asset, is a balance sheet. And equipment is an asset balance sheet. And notes payable is a liability. And then liability, this is a liability. And then this is our capital. And then there's owner's drawing. So this will be a reduction from our capital later on. And then what else? Accumulated depreciation. This is a contra asset account. And then you have accounts receivable. This is an asset. And then interest payable. This is a liability. And salaries wages payable is a liability. So the rest here, so we have service revenue. This will be under income statement. And then you have your expenses. So all expenses na to should be under income statement account. So kapag lumatag ang income statement pa na, kay naa siya expense. Salaries and wages and expense, supplies expense, insurance expense, taxation expense, and then interest expense. And then, income na to is, isa ra atong account to sa atong service revenue, so that will be under income. So, what will happen next is, we will now compute our income. What we will do is, anyway, we will go through this one again, through activity. So, what we will do here is, ato orang i-add up tanan, 10,006, and then i-add up na to tanan expenses, so 7740, 10,006. So, in this case, kasi pwede mo answer, kung ang iyang revenue is 10,006, kung yung expenses is 774, kung sa man siya, profit or loss? Revenue niya is 10,600 man. Ang iyang expenses is 7,740. So there's a difference of 2,860. So sa man profit or loss? Kasi pwede mo answer. Wala ko i-view manggod sa yung names. Hello? Anybody?
Pwede pabalik, miss, ang question.
Kuan? Naata sa page 10? Ang point of
Yes, miss.
Oh, page 10. So akong question is, after nato siya ma-post na sa adjusted, so ang next natong activity karon is identify all these account, i-classify nato kung income man na siya, income statement na siya na account, or balance sheet na account. So, in this case here, ato nang identify, so next nato nga himuon is ato siyang i-total. So, first nato nga i-total is income statement. Total nato is how much makita nato nga total sa revenue. Credit side.
1,600.
1,600. Total nato sa debit.
7,740.
So there's a difference of 2,860. So kana siya, no? So question na ko. Unsa may resulta sa business, ni income ba siya o loss?
Loss, no?
Loss?
Income is
Income, no? Kay mas tako man ang atong revenue. Ni expenses nato is only 7,740. So ang 2,860 nato is an income. Okay? So, after na ito ma-determine nga ito na siya, so 7,740, find the difference, so that will give you 2,860 na difference, right? So, what if ang atong income statement, ang atong revenue is 7,740, ang atong expense is 10,006. So, again, there's a difference of 2,860, no? So, in that case, loss, right? So, here, ibutang nato ni siya din sa, basta ang atong presentation, niya, nga, atong gid na siyang find the difference, then after sa atong total, magbalansin yun na siya din, ha? For purposes lang sa kuanali, let's not discuss first the logic behind. So, here, naakay na account na 2,860, so there's a difference. So, atong ibut under 2,860, so at this point, 10,006, so balance na siya. So from here, niingon ta nga ni income siya 2,860. So what will happen to the capital of the owner? Mo increase, mo decrease because of the income?
increase.
Mo increase. So that because this is an income, ato ni siyang i-extend sa atong balance sheet. Kay ultimately, ang income nga 260, that will be added to the capital of the owner. So, naa siya sa column diri nga debit, process lang na siya sa presentation para makita nato ang ang iyang difference. And then from, if this is an income, so that will be extended to the credit side of the balance sheet, meaning an income resulted, that's why it will be added to the credit column because it will increase the capital account of the owner. However, kung lost pa na siya, what will happen is that just like kaning drawing, it will be presented under here sa debit side because that will mean reduction from the capital. So, again, kung ato na na-identify nato nga mo ni siya ang atong mga income statement accounts, so the rest will be balance sheet. And then, ato ito talang balance sheet, 98,590, and then 2,450, pilay difference. Compute. 2,450 atong asset, and then 995 unadjusted balance niya. I mean, before sa posting to capital, the income, pilay difference sa aning duha. 2,450 minus 1,999, 1,950. Pilay difference. Paki-compute.
2,860.
2,860, no? So, diha na to, makaimutan ng amazing kayo accounting process. Okay. It's the same amount na nakuha nato diri by deducting the income, by deducting the expenses from the income. It will give you 2,860, and then ato na siyang i-post to capital. So that makes our balance sheet balance. So amazing ang accounting process. That completes the worksheet. So after niya, so that's the time nga ato na dayon ko para mo-prepare na dayon ta og financial statement. So preparing financial statements from a worksheet. Income statement is prepared from the income statement column. Then balance sheet and analysis equity are prepared from the balance sheet columns. Then companies can prepare financial statements before they journalize and post adjusted. So kaya akong iimutan niya na the journalizing and posting become after we prepare the financials. When in fact, in actual, we prepare the journals, meaning we have the entries naman in the worksheet. But in actual, we post all these transactions sa journal and post sa ledger for lang siya for BIR compliance. So, ang importante lang, we take note of what are these transactions monthly, journals monthly, and then by the time moabot at year end actually, prior to audit, ay na ako na siya i-post na sa journal o ledger ang mga journal, atong adjusting journal entries. So from there, we prepare the income statement, pioneer advertising, income statement, and then for the month ended October 31. Then revenues, 2006, expenses. So asa nato ikuha dito sa atong worksheet, no tanan na account na makita nato sa worksheet. Ato rin siyang i-prepare in good form, in report form, para ready for presentation sa different stakeholder. So we have here revenue, 2006 again, you have the dollar sign. Sa ganito nga nakatay dollar sign sa trial balance, and then sa financial statements. Then service revenue. And then you have expenses. You have salaries, supplies, expense, insurance, depreciation, and then total. So look at the presentation, no? we have here the dollar sign, and then we have the underline, meaning this is single line after 40, so that will be, everything else will be added. Then you have your total expenses, 77. Kini nga value, no? Kini nga value here. Kini nga value 2860, so that will be carried over to investments. So iniingon ta, kung net income na siya, that will be added, pero kung net loss na siya, that will be subtracted. So asa man siya dito 2860, gikan na sa atong income statement na na-compute that one. So it's 60, so that 12 plus 28, 860. And then, beginning nimo, so that's your total available. Less drawings na 500, so that's our owner's capital. October 31, meaning at the end of month na nasiya. 12,360. So next na time na i-prepare is the balance sheet. And then you have here, Pioneer, balance sheet, October 31. Take note of the dates, no? Sa income statement nato for the month ended, kunya ang worksheet for the month ended, income statement for the month ended, honest equity for the month ended, meaning to say, there's, the financial report is para siya time-bounded siya. There's, ano siya, there's a beginning and ending. So, na siya time element of which specifically ang atong ginuwag report is only for the month of October. However, going to the balance sheet, you will not say for the month ended or for the whatever. It will always be October 31. Okay, abot ipasabot ani niya, this report, these amounts are balances since the beginning of the business. Okay, like for example, since the beginning of the business. So, October 31, 2020. And then you have here assets, then cash, AR, supplies, prepaid insurance, equipment, and then you present here the contra asset accumulated depreciation. You have here 5,000 less 40. So ang atong present here is our net book value of 460. Again, dollar sign. And then total assets nato is 21,910. Yan, overall. After you have your liabilities and owner's equity, balance sheet nato mo man siya nga atong katong accounting equation. So you have your liabilities, notes payable, accounts payable, interest, and so on. Yeah, again, the dollar sign. And then total liabilities is 12. Yeah. Total nato is 5,950. And then owner's equity asa manikikan sa kanining atong na-compute here. No? Atong na-compute here sa So here, asa manigikan ang kanang so this one kaning 12,360. That's the amount that you computed here sa okay. This one kana 12,360. Ato ran nang i-carry forward pag abot diri sa owner's capital in 12,360. So, 9,550 plus 12,360, so that will total 50. That completes the kuan nato. financial statements. Ready na ka mag-ipon ka na meeting. Now, preparing adjusting entries from a worksheet. Adjusting entries are prepared from the adjustment columns of the worksheet. Journalize and post of adjusting entries follows the preparation of the financial statements with the worksheet issues. So we will stop there. Okay, next na to nga after our activity, after our midterm, we will go to pagkakain closing entries and then post-closing entries. But before that, we will have an activity sa preparation of the worksheet. Pero dili lang sa ako maghatag og activity para you can review for the exam which is next. Clarifications, people? Questions? Hello? Hello? Questions?
None so far, miss.
Okay, wala na. So, again, coverage na to sa exam. Theories na to chapter 2 and 3. And then, computations. There will be computations, adjusting entries. What else? Basta nakato siya ko na to. Anong computations sa chapter 2 and 3 na to. Computations of balances, computations of adjusting entries. Focus na to yun, adjusting entries. Wala na, so that will be all for this afternoon. Next week ang atong exam. Okay? Sige. Kung wala na, that will be all for so dili lang ko maghatag o activity. What you will do is resubmit all your activities. Resubmit all your activities katong corrected na. We discuss naman unsay dapat correct na correct na entries. So resubmit. Okay? Okay, bye.
Bye, miss. Thank you, miss.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, miss.
Okay.